Hello and welcome to this demonstration. My name is Orestes Stringidis. I work for Amalgam Information Management Limited. What I want to show you into the next about 10 or 15 minutes is how to use Telelab, and also what is Telelab. Telelab is a virtual ICT security training laboratory. It has been created initially by HPI, which stands for Hasso-Plattner Institute, that is under the University of Potsdam in Germany, and this incarnation of Telelab lies within the Vilnius Gediminas Technical University in Lithuania. It has been transferred and replicated and adapted to the servers of Vilnius Gediminas Technical University, as you can see here, into the domain name. The other two partners of this project were, of course, my company, which I initially told you in this presentation, and another company from Lithuania called Nsoft. So, without further ado, it's better to explain things while we demonstrate. This, if you go with your browser, any browser, of course, but probably Firefox will do better, I guess, into this address, telelab.vgtu.lt. This is just some general information about Telelab. So this is actually the login screen. So let's log in pretty quick. I think my credentials are already here. And we're in. This is actually the curriculum of this Telelab incarnation. As you can see, everything is in Lithuanian, so you may not be able to understand much, but I'm sure you understand terms like eavesdropping, that is in English actually, and you can realize that this specific chapter here, it's about the wireless and wireless security. So the first part I will explain to you. This is the curriculum. So if you choose to enter a chapter, let's go to wireless security. These are the sections you can find here, and you can flip like a book actually. So here it explains some theory, some premises about Bluetooth. In this case, here's about the wireless LAN, what it is and how it works, and here is something new that we can see. This is a demonstration. It's actually a video. So if you click here, you can access further materials through the Telelask system that is external. So you open the podcast, and you have the chance to watch a lesson, a tutorial if you prefer. This is Dr. Christoph Meiner from HPI about the wireless LAN. So if you go back here, let's keep flicking. As you can see here, it's also a convenient way to access the curriculum. So you see, here you have WPA, this WLAN test. Here's some screenshots. These some of the standard tools that you encounter. This Kismet, for example, Network Stampler. Here are the resources of that you can download the various software packages. Next is AirCrack, of course. And we have come to the most interesting part of this presentation. That is, it's very nice in ICT security to have the theory in an e-learning environment, so to speak, but that's not what Telelab is all about. Telelab is about providing all the tools you need, all the computers or network infrastructure you need in a virtual environment. That is, that you don't need to go to an actual physical lab to be able to learn and get your hands dirty in ICT security exercises. So from any student or learner, university student for example, can access virtual machines that they are preloaded for each exercise with all the needed tools and configuration. They can access those machines. They open into a browser, and let's click here, by the way, to request a virtual machine, and run the exercise from there. So what advantages does it provide? First of all, you don't have to worry about insulating or isolating the lab. For example, if you hire it into a university environment, as you may guess, as you may know, running an ICT security lab within a campus must be completely isolated. Why? Because if you can attack and destroy a database, you have to make sure that you actually destroying a database within the lab and not a real useful database outside the lab. And of course, you need to have dedicated machines that you only use for that purpose. And another advantage is that this, of course, it minimizes costs. So actually, all the virtual machines that are used in the exercise of Telelab, they are very conveniently stored into just one rack or just one server, and so this takes much less space, and everything that is done automatically, in terms that the virtual machine is created on demand. So you don't need to have a physical computer just staying there and just waiting to be used and occupying space in an actual physical room. So these are one of the few good advantages of Telelab. It's not so hard to replicate. My team have actually streamlined as much as possible the possibility to replicate one Telelab server into another Telelab server that it can be used. And okay, it's loaded, as you can see, the virtual machine. Let's get our hands dirty. So this the virtual machine runs within the browser. You don't need to install any additional packages. Just have the standards that any browser offers. For example, this environment here is HTML5, and you can recognize here is a terminal. So you can run the tools, which are conveniently into this folder. Here's aircrack, this John the Ripper, nmap, and pwdump. So after you have run the exercise, you close this window, you actually are releasing the virtual machine. If I'm not mistaken, the Telelab server that runs in the Vilnius Gediminas Technical University can run up to 200 virtual machines. It all depends, of course, on what kind of server you're running and what kind of exercises concurrently run, because obviously some exercises they don't require to load, let's say, as equally heavy virtual machine as other exercises may need. And one additional note is that we have actually merged our pools with the server that holds the virtual machines in the university in Vilnius, in Lithuania, with the HPI. So what this practically means, it means that if, for example, at the site of HPI in Germany, there are at the same time concurrently an X amount of students that they occupy the resources for the maximum virtual machines, then there is no problem, because the Telelab server in Germany, in HPI, automatically requests a virtual machine from the server in VGTU, in Vilnius Gediminas Technical University in Lithuania, and this is done seamlessly, so the learner doesn't experience any interruptions. So after you have done the machine, let's check out another subject. You can see here that there are only 4 subjects, but this doesn't mean that you cannot add more. In fact, we have a guide that explains how you can add new curriculum into the environment of Telelab. For example, if we just visit let's visit the first chapter. For example, how you can make this section, how you can make a new page. It's actually pretty much standard descriptive XML. It's very easy to figure out how you can put the figures, put the links. So this is actually straightforward how you can do it. So additionally on how you can take care of the presentation part of the curriculum, you can also set the profile for a virtual machine. So it's not hard to define how you would like to a virtual machine, to what kind of tools you want to hold, and what kind of settings it want, what kind of operating system configuration you want the virtual machine to have, because some tools you may want to run them on an XP machine, or some tools you want to run them on a Linux machine with different configuration. Additionally, Telelab, it can actually perform more complicated, let's just keep clicking to keep this interesting, more complicated attacks, like man-in-the-middle attacks. So it offers the capability to actually run scripted attacks. For example, let's say you want to have an email correspondence in an exercise, which we actually do have an exercise that it works like that. And then you can make a scripted reply, for example. So you get between Alice and Bob, and you pretend to be Alice or Bob, and that's how you interfere with their communication. So these pretty much the capabilities of Telelab. I don't know what else I need to tell you. If you want to visit, of course, more information, you can always go back to the initial website. Here there's some languages. You can switch between languages if you want to load concurrently the same lessons into different language. Yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. Just a final note: Telelab system has a lot of capabilities. It is still under development. The main advantages, of course, they are evident. That first of all, in a case where a university wants to set up a course on ICT security training or network security training, it doesn't have to allocate a dedicated lab that costs a lot, and the peripherals, to buy all these peripherals, because these network devices, because Telelab has the ability to actually make a virtual network, which is quite important. And of course, it offers the 24/7, 24 hours, 7 days per week, ability for at any time any learner can log in and perform the exercise. And there are plans for the future to develop it even further. For example, to transfer it into new languages, in Greek, and of course replicate it into new universities, and add further development and more curriculum, and with the vision, of course, to make a grid of universities that everyone share resources, and not only hardware resources, for example, the number of virtual machines, but also to share expertise and to exchange new learning units. For example, University A can write a new learning unit on a certain subject, and exchange it with another university that that belongs to this part of the consortium. There isn't pretty much else to say. So thank you for visiting and watching this video. For any questions, you can contact us through the project website. So thank you so much.